Today I'm going to show you the #1 mistake that everybody makes when they're stretching their hip flexors. What's going on, YouTube family? It's Blake Bowman here with Gorilla Zen Fitness, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you the biggest mistake that almost everybody makes when they're stretching their hip flexors. So I've been wanting to make a video on this for a while because almost everybody does this wrong, unless you have a very detailed understanding of anatomy, or you're getting instruction from somebody really knowledgeable. Chances are you're making this mistake too when you're doing a classic hip flexor stretch, a kneeling hip flexor stretch. Okay, and I'm not gonna stand here in front of this camera right now and talk too much about this. I'm just gonna get over there and quickly show you this mistake. All right, so the classic stretch that I'm talking about for the hip flexors that people always mess up is the kneeling hip flexor stretch. Okay, it looks something like this when it's done properly. Okay, now the biggest mistake that people make when they're doing this is they allow their pelvis to anteriorly tilt, which means tilt forward, and they allow their lower back to arch when they're doing this. Okay, in essence, what that does is it takes the stretch off of the hip flexors, which is the very muscle that you're trying, or the very muscle group, I should say. It's a group of muscles that you're trying to stretch with this, static stretch. Okay, so you're effectively not stretching the muscles that you're trying to stretch by doing this. Okay, and what this mistake looks like, I'll try to pull up my shirt here and show it to you. But if you're dumping your pelvis forward like this, really arching your back, and you're tilting forward like this, you're not even going to feel a hip flexor stretch at all. Right now, I do not feel my hip flexors stretching. Okay, I feel my lumbar spine going into extension, my lower back, and I feel the muscles back there tightening up a lot. Okay, and that's what you're going to get with this. Okay, so that is the biggest mistake right there. That's taking away all of the benefits that you would get from this stretch. The way that you want to do it correctly is to maintain a neutral pelvis or even a posteriorly tilted pelvis. So what that means is instead of letting it tilt forward like this, letting your back arch, tuck under like this, squeeze your abs really hard, and make sure that that lower back is almost flat as you kind of sink forward like this, squeezing the butt cheek, keeping this tight and keeping this tight. What you're going to find just by coming out of this bad overextended position here into this position, okay, you're going to feel an instantaneous intensification of the stretch on the hip flexors. Okay, so that's it. I just wanted to make this quick and dirty video for you. Don't make that mistake and avoid it just altogether by doing what I just showed you. There you have it. Make sure you're not doing that when you're stretching your hip flexors. If you follow the advice I just gave, you're going to get a lot more benefit from stretching your hip flexors. Maybe you're somebody that's been stretching them, making the mistake that I just showed, and you haven't been getting results. They still feel tight. Try this out. I bet this is really going to help things out for you. If you like this video, give it a like down below. Also leave me a comment. If you haven't yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, make sure you go ahead and do that by clicking this button right here. Also, if you want to figure out how to fix your anterior pelvic tilt, if you have tight hip flexors, you might have an anterior pelvic tilt. That means your pelvis is tilted forward, your back's tight all the time. Make sure you get my free anterior pelvic tilt workout right here. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.